Hello viewers, here is an older Patton high velocity air circulator fan. This was found locally. I bought it at a tag sale from a relatively elderly gentleman, and it was kind of comical because he kept telling me how good of a fan it was as if I didn't know. Although surprisingly enough, he let it go for only a couple dollars. It's a shame the guard is so tarnished, because if it wasn't, this would be a pretty flashy piece. When I got it, I did clean up the blades and polish those up. Well, it looks like they've gotten kind of dull over time. They're probably dusty from sitting here in the shop. This has a huge shaded pole. I believe it's a General Electric motor. Yes, it is. Look at the gauge of those windings. That's really, really thick. These motors were indestructible. Really, really good quality motors, built to extremely good standards, and they lasted. They really did. It's not ball bearing, although it kind of looks like it could have been. It's sleeve bearing as far as I know it. And let's see, it's 1/10 of a horsepower, 1500 RPM, so it's a standard size, 4.8 amps. And here's what's left of the informations. This is rounded up to 5 amps, 115 volts, and it says oil, front and the back. Oil ports, I think there's supposed to be a plug on there. I think this was probably tampered with at some point, because you can see the front is put on upside down. Perhaps the guy I bought it from had serviced it at some points. I don't know. I think when I tried to service it, the blade was stuck on there, and I didn't want to pull it at the time. But at some point, I should pull the blade off and give the motor a proper service. Maybe do something about the guard to see if I could get it shiny again. But anyways, I think there would have been more of a nameplate down here. Perhaps not, I don't know. 3 speeds. And it's really heavy. Very, very heavy fan. I've always liked the shape of these, how the guard is not rounded. Reminds me of the old Dayton fan at my grandparents' house, the exhaust fan. Okay, let's go ahead and plug this thing up. I do have the kilowatt meter going, although it's the flaky one, so I don't know if this is going to give us an accurate reading or not. I'm hoping the switch is off. Let's see. It is off. Okay, so we'll switch that over to amps. And I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've used this. I don't remember if high or low comes first on the switch. So let's see. Should be able to tell by how quickly it speeds up. Yeah, that's going to be high, so we'll go down to low. Nope, that's high. So it does start on low, which is nice. I happen to like that. And it's drawing on blur 4 amps, and it is powerful. This thing is insanely powerful. These were probably some of the best high velocity fans ever made. These and the Lakewoods that have a similar blade. Okay, let's go down to medium. Not a whole lot of difference in the speeds. And based on the way the motor is not drawing its full power rating, I probably could have put more pitch on these blades, gotten some more performance out of them without overworking the motor. And we'll go down to low. And unfortunately, this does not have a nice slow low speed. So this isn't super useful in any kind of a small area. It's slightly out of balance. Probably should attempt to balance it. It's not horrible, but it's definitely not perfect. If you can see, it vibrates a little bit. Down to 3.28 amps on low. Alright, let's go back up to high and then we'll do a spin down. Oops, that's off. This hasn't been running in a long time, so I don't expect the bearings to be in the greatest of condition. Looks like they're not too bad. Probably should have some fresh oil put into it. Actually, the bearings are seeming pretty good. Okay, let's see if we can get a startup sound here. I don't think this has much of a startup sound. Let's see if it does. We'll go straight to high. It's got some power to it. Alright, that's going to conclude the video of this Patton and I forget what the model number is. I think somebody has told me in the past. I'll see if I can look it up, and if I can find out what the model number is, I'll post it into the description that probably less than 10% of the viewers actually read.